Welcome back. This is Douglas Dennis, the Alkaline Life Coach. Today we're live and we're talking about 11 dangers of sugar. It's killing you. And I looked online I'm going to go over some things that I found. And I have not eaten sugar, just so you know, if you're just tuning in, for about 3 years. So I have a lot of interesting info to share, and let's check this out. I'm going to try to share my screen as well. I'm just going to flip the camera over, and I'm going to react and talk in detail about some of these things. So 11 reasons, 11 dangers of sugar. The dangers of sugar, the reasons why sugar is bad for you, sugar is killing us, 10 reasons why sugar is bad for your body, 10 things you don't know about sugar, how does too much sugar affect your body, eating too much added sugar increases the risk of dying. These are some of the things I found when I searched. And eating too much sugar, the effects and symptoms, how sugar affects the body, and what level of blood sugar is dangerous. So these were the top search results. And I'm going to flip my screen around. And also, if you're just tuning in, you can ask questions and I will do a Q&A at the end. So let's check this out and then I'll answer the questions later. Let me flip the screen right here. Okay, so when I searched for dangers of sugar, here's the top results. And this one right here, 11 reasons why too much sugar is bad for you. I want to talk more in detail because I have a different perspective about some of these things. And I have not eaten sugar, like I said, for years actually at this point. Can I zoom out at all? Okay. Okay, so they go blah, blah, blah. Let's just cut right into it. So it can cause weight gain. All right, now it's, okay, here we go. We're live, so stuff is popping up in my way. Why does eating sugar cause weight gain? I can explain this that you probably haven't heard about in the pop culture. So I'm not going to go over what they talk about, but of course they're saying drinking a lot of sweet beverages is linked to increased visceral fat. Well, why does that happen? Well, the name of my channel is called the Alkaline Life Coach. We talk a lot about acid and alkaline. Check out some of my other videos if you haven't heard about that yet. But sugar, especially cane sugar in particular, is very, very acidic. It is acid. So keep that in mind through all of these different things we're going to talk about. The reason it causes weight gain is because it is acid. So what your body does to buffer your own pH, your body tries to protect itself. So your fat cells absorb a lot of excess water. Keep in mind, most of your body is just water. Even fat is mostly water. So your fat cells absorb more and more water to protect your body against the acid of the sugar. So that's why sugar causes weight gain, because sugar in and of itself doesn't have any fat. So why would sugar make you gain fat when if you look at sugar, it's not very fatty? That's why. It's about pH. So this one says may increase your risk of heart disease. Well, it will definitely, the reason they have to say may, because there are a lot of conflicting studies out there paid for by the sugar manufacturers. But it will, I would say, definitely increase your risk of heart disease. And why? What's the reason why? Well, the reason why is because of the pH. Again, sugar is very acid. What this does to the heart, it increases clogged mucus, And also it blocks minerals. That's what you need in your blood to make you healthy, but that all gets disturbed by the sugar and definitely causes a lot. Also, we talked about adding fat. Well, more fat can saturate your bloodstream with fat, and it's trying to detoxify constantly, and it can't, because in nature there naturally wouldn't be this much to detox all at once. So this can cause your blood to have extra fat in it and all kinds of other problems. Let's see what they say about it. I'm not even reading what they're saying, but let's see. Leads to obesity. That's what I'm saying, is more fat in the blood is not good. Inflammation, that causes pain. When you're feeling pain, you're feeling inflammation, which means inflames. The root of the word inflammation means inflames, which is that uncomfortable feeling, pain, and swelling and everything else. So blood sugar and blood pressure, all of this is connected to the pH, which they conveniently don't mention. That's why I'm doing this video and mentioning the pH. Okay, so there's all kinds of diseases that it's linked to by fatty and artery clogging deposits. See, that's what I was talking about a minute ago. Extra fat saturating in your blood vessels. So let's keep moving on. Okay, their number 3 has been linked to acne. Well, what happens when your blood gets saturated with fats and toxins and can't detox? It has to come out somewhere. It has to come out of your body, or it's stuck in there killing you. So one way it has to come out is through your skin. And when it's clogged up in the digestive tract, then sometimes the only place for it to come out is through your skin. And that causes acne because the toxins are coming out your skin. Your skin is an organ, so the skin can show signs of toxins overloaded. So what do they say about it? Quickly spikes your blood sugar, it increases the oil production and inflammation, which all play a role in acne development. That's exactly what I was just saying. All right, let's keep moving. If you have questions in the replay, go ahead and ask in the comments and I will answer them. I am very good about answering questions in the comments, and I love to hear your feedback, as long as you have a positive attitude. 4 is increases your risk of type 2 diabetes. Well, why does it increase the risk of type 2 diabetes? That's important. So I'm going to talk about the reason why. So I mentioned the blood gets saturated and the toxins get saturated in the bloodstream. Well, another very, very important part of this is mucus. I know it's disgusting, but all of this is actually disgusting. The good news is that you can do something about it, and then that is the benefit. So type 2 diabetes, basically the pancreas, the pancreal duct is a very thin, and let me switch the camera back over. There's a very thin tube in the pancreas, and what happens is, and this is not common knowledge, this is not common knowledge in pop culture, so you're in the right place. And this is the same thing that causes all kinds of diseases. It just, depending on the area of your body, it can show up differently. But there's the thin duct in the pancreas that gets clogged with the saturation of mucus. Like I said, your body is trying to expel this. It naturally detoxes on its own, but because of the things I talk about in other videos, and in this video we're talking about sugar specifically, it can't detoxify it fast enough by how much people are taking in. And this is not common for our body to have to deal with in nature. So like I keep saying, it becomes saturated in the blood, and then mucus is overloading the system. And then that thin duct that I was talking about in the pancreas gets clogged with mucus, and people spend years and years and years trying to solve that problem in the wrong ways, in ways that don't work. What you have to do is deal with the mucus in those fine crevices of the body. Once those are detoxified, it will go away, and it can go away. And there have been a lot of people that have dealt with that and other chronic diseases specifically. So let's move on to their next number and see what's number 5. All right. So this is talking about diabetes. Wow. The risk is going up and up and up, especially in America. Number 5, may increase your risk of cancer. Well, why would that happen? It's linked to the other things I've been talking about already. So they're saying excessive amounts of sugar, which I would say is any sugar, because it's acid, it's acidic, so you don't want any of it, ideally. Now, there are other sweets that you can safely eat. Cane sugar is specifically destructive. So when I'm talking about sugar in this video, I'm specifically talking about cane sugar, although there are other toxic forms of sugar that are very common. But there are sweets that you can eat, such as ripe melon, agave, that are not included in all the dangers I've been talking about. So just because it says sugar doesn't mean it's all sweets. Specifically, cane sugar is one of the worst, especially when we're talking about cancer. So why would this happen? A diet with too much sugary foods can lead to obesity, which significantly raises your risk of cancer. Well, I've been talking about pH, which they don't mention. And I talked about the excess fat saturating the blood. That's no good. All of that is a contributor. Diets high in sugar increase inflammation and may cause insulin resistance. Both increase cancer risk. So inflammation is what happens. This does happen a little bit naturally in your body, but it's very minimal in nature. With our unnatural diet, our unnatural lifestyle, so much of what people eat nowadays causes inflammation, not just sugar. So sugar just tips the scale and is one of the worst things, including things like wheat. These cause inflammation in your body, which may cause insulin resistance. It's a downward spiral, basically. It's a downward spiral. All right, there's an ad. Here we go. What's the next one? Number 6, moving right along. You can ask questions, by the way, and I will answer them in the Q&A at the end. All right, and let's see. Make sure I have these questions pulled up so that I can see them, because we are live. For those of you tuning in later, I will answer your questions in the comments. All right, let's see. Where's my live stream coming in? I don't see it. Okay, we'll just keep moving along. I'm trying to make sure to see the comments so that when we do go to the Q&A, I can see everything. But YouTube won't let me watch my... Okay, there we go. It's a little behind the scenes action. All right. So no comments as of yet. If you have something, comments or feedback, let me know. And thank you, whoever just gave me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Okay, so number 6, may increase your risk of depression. Well, why would that happen? Well, let's see what they have to say, and then I'll dive a little deeper about the pH. While a healthy diet can improve your mood, well, definitely your diet should give you tons of energy and should give you a really good feeling. But the artificial things we eat, like I keep saying, we eat too many of them, and it bogs down our body and we can't expel the toxins fast enough. This can also lead to mucus in the brain. Like I talked about diabetes a minute ago, which we were talking about the pancreal duct. Well, here we're talking about the brain and other parts of our body. Our mood influencing hormones, let me switch this over. Our mood influencing hormones aren't just coming from our brain. They're also coming from other parts of our body, such as our gut. So if your gut is not healthy, then it can help lead to depression, and other types of anxiety and other diseases can make them worse. So it's not just about the brain, but the brain is definitely part of this equation. The brain has mood-producing hormones and the gut has mood-producing hormones. These can all be negatively impacted by sugar. And remember that cane sugar specifically is very acid. So consuming a lot of processed food, such as cakes and sugary drinks, is associated with higher risk of depression. And of course, your nervous system, your adrenal glands can become fried, which used to be called a nervous breakdown back in the day. They changed that, they changed the jargon to a lot of different words, but just know that it makes you feel like garbage. And unfortunately, I've been there, done that, and I learned all this the hard way. So I've suffered from a lot of these things before, and I quit sugar years ago, like I mentioned. Okay, and they're talking about neurotransmitter dysregulation. Basically, it fries your brain. To just put this in layman's terms, inflammation and mucus and neurotransmitter dysregulation in your brain, that's not going to be good in your everyday life. When you're trying to think, when you're trying to feel good, it's going to be very difficult to do that when your brain is physically unhealthy. And they've got some more stats that I don't really like to become bored with the individual stats, but some people like, to see numbers. Let's go to number 7. May accelerate the skin aging process. Well, definitely your skin is an organ, and your skin is your largest organ. So we've talked about already in this article how bad this is for the heart. We just talked about how it's bad for the brain. Well, your largest organ, your skin, is definitely going to see the effect of that. And that's what most people see. Most people don't see the effects of their digestion. Most people don't see heart disease firsthand. It gets too late before they find out. But your skin is a good place that you can see it popping out first, so that if you have blemishes, if you have breakouts, there's a good chance it's sugar or MSG or some other chemical. And a lot of times I do not recommend hand creams, face creams, soap, face wash, and stuff like that. I know we're talking about sugar in this video, but people get a bunch of blemishes because of the toxic things they ate, and then they rub more toxic things on it to try to make it better, and it's a downward spiral again. So let's see what they say about the aging process. Because aging, I've been talking about anti-aging a lot in some of my other live videos. I talked about lobsters, which are immortal, that they don't die of natural causes. Something has to kill them, which is very interesting. And some trees are like that as well. They can just get older and older and older, and as long as something doesn't kill them, then they can live forever. Well, what makes us age so poorly? Well, nowadays it's the sugar, specifically we're talking about in this video, and I talk about in my other videos other toxic artificial substances as well. If you're interested in those, definitely give a look at my channel, because there's a wealth of information. In fact, we talk about health and wealth, Because what good is wealth if you're not healthy to enjoy it, or if you're sick or dying? That's the most important thing you need to deal with. And again, I've learned this all the hard way. I've been sick and dying before, unfortunately, and it's no fun at whatsoever. The only reason I'm here is because I learned the things I talk about on this channel. Aging has a big thing to do with it. Stress has a big thing to do with it. Sugar and toxic food. So this talks about wrinkles. Basically what you need to know about aging, I learned in a book called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. He was a plastic surgeon, and this book was written 50 years ago, more than 50 years ago. He was a plastic surgeon, but he noticed a lot of things about the body with plastic surgery, where he would change some people's image, and some people would have a change in their self-image and some people wouldn't. Some people would have a drastic change when they change their look, and some people would not have no change at all, and some people would even accuse him of not doing anything even when there were stunning results. So that's an interesting book. I could dive deep. I could do a video just about that book because I've read it several times. Now, hello, Taylor. I saw your comments coming in. How is sugar killing you? So fruit sugar is bad. Not necessarily. Some fruits are good, and I said earlier in this video, sweets in general, some sweets are okay. I'm specifically talking about cane sugar in this video is the worst, and there are some other acid sugars that are also bad for you. But there are some sweets that I eat personally, but I quit sugar as in cane sugar, and also things like even beet sugar and beet juice and stuff like that, which people think are healthy, aren't. If you want a complete list of the fruits that are acceptable, I have a Facebook group. The list is in there, but I talk about it in other videos too. That's a great question though, because some fruits are really, really good. So it's not all fruits that are hybrid, and it's not all sugars, but cane sugar is the worst. And for most people, they would be taking a quantum leap just by quitting cane sugar. So that would be a good step, but you know, we could go into it. It's about pH, really. But thank you for asking, and thank you for commenting. All right, now a couple more on the list. Let's get into this. Talking about aging, they're talking about refined carbs, which basically to me means acids, and sugar, which means to me acids. Okay, Taylor said, I have IBS, I'm plant-based. What I assume to IBS, doctors can't figure it out. Well, I know how you feel. I used to have a chronic condition that doctors couldn't figure out, and guess what? I figured it out before them. It took me years, and it wasn't easy, but in hindsight, it's very easy and simple. So I try to simplify it in this channel, and I try to make it as easy as possible. However, you know, it's easier said than done, but I do have a 12-week program. If you want to really dive deep into it, now that's not for everyone, and I usually don't push my program because it's not for everyone, and I don't take everyone as a client. But if someone that is watching does have a chronic condition and they're totally fed up with it and going from, you know, I used to go from doctor to doctor, and yeah, years of that went by before I finally healed myself. And it only took like less than a month. I have a whole video on that. It's called the video I think is called How I Kicked Chronic Fatigue's Butt in Less Than a Month. It's on my channel maybe a year or two ago. And yeah, it's interesting how easy it is in hindsight what the doctors can't seem to figure out. But the reason they keep pushing pills which are acid, just like refined carbs and sugar. So they're trying to solve a problem with another problem. Just like I mentioned when we were talking about acne a few minutes ago, people are trying to solve an acne problem by rubbing more chemicals and toxins on their skin because some TV commercial said, doctor recommended. Well, yeah, they just paid some doctor to say okay, and then they recommended it. That doesn't mean anything. There are thousands and thousands of doctors out there. Not all of them can possibly be good. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to rant about that forever, although I could definitely get into a heated debate about it for sure. Okay, Taylor said they were put on meds. They got off them. I still think I have GERD as and dental erosion, trying to fast before bed. Well, any fasting is good. You're on the right track. I can't legally comment on the medication, but it's good that you're doing your own thing and not letting them just keep messing up endlessly. Like, I have one-on-one clients, like I mentioned a minute ago, and I've talked to a lot of people over the years about this. So it's fascinating and shocking sometimes how the types of meds that people are on that are supposed to be temporary and that say the first thing that when you look them up has a warning that this should be temporary and you should get off of it in a couple months. And then I ask the person how long they've been on it and they say like 7 years. And it's just like, you do a little bit of research and find out how dangerous some of these things are, that they're just treating you like a guinea pig, unfortunately. Oh man, I could do a video just about that. Definitely. I know some stories about doctors that have just flat out killed people's family that I know. It's sad. I don't want to go down that dark hole, but it's something to think about and consider. Some people need to wake up and realize that if it's not working after so long, stop doing it. So at least that you are waking up and trying to do something else. I do know some things about GERD and dental erosion. So there are some ways you can heal or strengthen your teeth that are natural. A lot of the times the toothbrush is doing more damage than good. Check out oil pulling. There are also some different things you can use instead of toothpaste because there are some chemicals in toothpaste that are bad, especially for your brain. But again, there's a whole rabbit hole I could go down. So there's a lot more info. I don't want to get too far off topic, but I'll come back in the Q&A and come back to these comments. Let me get through these last couple bullet points, and then we'll hash it out in the Q&A live. Okay, so let me switch back over to the screen. So this is talking about aging. Man, I could really go down the aging rabbit hole. So I gave you several tidbits about aging. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, again, aging can increase cellular aging. Yeah, definitely. That's the big thing about why I'm off of sugar, because my internal organs were forcing me to, or else. Some people are at the point where they're dying. Some people are just have some inflammation. Everyone's in a different point in their life and their health. So, the more pain you're feeling, the more important this is to start waking up to the pH and what to not eat and then what to eat instead. Fasting, again, someone mentioned fasting. Taylor mentioned in the comments. I talk about fasting in a lot of my videos and in my 12-week program. We talk a lot about aging in my program, so basically this is going to keep you younger. Make sure to subscribe and get all of the good info about how to stay younger. I've got a lot more info and recipes and everything you could possibly need. Health is wealth, that's for sure. They're talking about telomeres, protecting your cells. Basically, what I talk about cells is the minerals and oxygen. They're not mentioning it here, but high amounts of sugar, it kills the outside of your cells so that your cells get invaded by mucus and that your cells are not getting the minerals or the oxygen that they need. That's basically the simple way to understand. They're not really explaining it well, in my opinion, but okay, 20-ounce soda is equated to almost 5 years of aging. So just having one soda is basically killing 5 years of your life. That's, wow. That is quite a shocking statistic. Is it worth it? To me, no way. Drinking one soda kills 5 years of your life, basically, is what they're saying. To me, that is not worth it. You can have something really delicious and sweet like fresh, ripe melon juice, or I make my own homemade root beer from sarsaparilla root that's super healthy, packed with minerals, and that does the opposite of this, and it tastes just as good. So don't think that you have to be healthy or have good taste. That's not a good trade-off. That's what my channel is all about, debunking that. So this is a shocking statistic that everyone needs to be serious about. One cup of soda, not even a whole full-size one that a lot of people drink, like a giant one. One glass of it takes 5 years off of your life, basically. Wow. Crazy. 9, drains your energy. Well, this is something I talk about in some of my videos. Now, some people take energy drinks, and the energy drinks have cane sugar or corn syrup. Corn syrup's one of the bad ones, one of the acid toxic ones. High fructose corn syrup, whatever. Every kind of corn is not good for you, unfortunately, because it's acid, it's starchy and hybrid. But anyway, drains your energy when it's supposed to give you energy. I have whole videos, entire videos where I talk about energy, so I'm not going to go too long about energy. I'm going to move along right to the next one because I have whole videos about energy. But this is proving my point, what I've been talking about energy in the other videos. Caffeine and sugar doesn't really give you energy. Alkalinity is energy. Think about a battery that says alkaline. Well, it's not healthy to eat a battery because that's a chemical, but high alkalinity is more energy, electricity, bioelectricity. It's your body's natural energy. Remember, your body is mostly made out of water. So water and minerals conducts electricity. Now, that in and of itself, I know I said it really quick and very simple, but that is life-changing info for a lot of people that the mainstream just doesn't tell anything. Now look in this article, is there anything to do with minerals? Is there anything to do with alkaline? They're telling you kind of, but I'm filling in the gaps for you. So it drains your energy even though energy drinks are supposedly going to give you energy. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, the rise in energy is fleeting. I talk about this in other videos, so check some of my other ones out if you want to learn more about that. Can lead to a fatty liver. That is a lot worse than it sounds, too. Your liver has to process all of these toxins. Your liver and your kidneys are trying to process all these artificial things. High fructose corn syrup did not exist until the 1970s. So this stuff didn't even exist in nature. Your grandparents didn't even have this available. A lot of this was not around 100 years ago. So the life expectancy is starting to go down, like I predicted years and years ago, because people are eating toxins, toxic food, hybrids that don't exist in nature. They were made in a lab. And all that extra fat floating around your bloodstream, which I talked about earlier in the video, is going to end up trying to be processed by your liver. Your liver and kidneys aren't going to be able to handle it all because, like I keep saying, this amount of toxins does not exist in nature. So it's your body just doesn't know what to do with it, to make it very simple. High intake of fructose is linked to fatty liver. And like I keep saying, the fructose makes your fat cells expand because they're trying to buffer their pH. It's too acid. They're trying to keep you alkaline so that you don't die. They're trying to keep you alkaline, which is what my channel is all about. So this is all very relevant to the other videos in my channel. I love that I checked out this article because it's proving, it's reinforcing a lot of what I'm talking about in this channel. So I don't want to beat a dead horse. I'm going on and on about the same thing. It's getting repetitive. So this is the last one. Other health risks, just to sum it up. Sugar can harm your body in countless other ways. Increase kidney disease. Like I just said, your kidneys and your liver have to process all those toxins. So when your liver gets overloaded and fatty and can't handle it, well, what happens? Well, your kidneys start failing. And your dental health, well, that's because sugar is acid. Acid is eroding, it's caustic. It will erode your bones, including your teeth. Remember, your teeth are bones. If you float a tooth in a cup of Coca-Cola, eventually the tooth will totally disintegrate. If you put a penny in a cup of Coca-Cola, I did that as a child, as a science experiment. And eating too much sugar can cause cavities. I learned that the hard way. I have cavities that were all caused before I quit eating sugar. I quit eating sugar 3 years ago, and now I'm fixing the cavities from before. So make sure to start taking care of this right away because it can influence your life well into the future. And think about, you can see your teeth, but you can't see your other bones. Think about your other bones and your other organs, how they must be impacted. If you can see on the skin and the teeth the effects of the bad health, that means the unseen parts of the body are suffering as well. They're just not being looked at, but they're there and they're going to eventually cause a problem. I'm saying from experience. Increased risk of gout. It's inflammation. Too much inflammation by pain in the joints. Oh wow, I had that in my 20s where I couldn't even get out of bed sometimes. And I'm a martial artist and a drummer, so really I use my body a lot and I need my joints to feel good. That was a terrible period of my life. I'm so thankful I'm not like that anymore. Added sugar raise uric acid. Oh, finally they mention acid. Finally, in the very end of the article, they mention acid, which is what I've been talking about the whole article. Thankfully, they mentioned it. Awesome. There are other parts of acid. There are other types of acid too. Carbonic acid, lactic acid that people from eating dairy and from exercising too much, carbonic acid from eating wheat and rice and stuff like that. So has an increased risk of developing or worsening gout. And don't take my word for it. There are, all these things have sources, and you can check each source. If you don't trust me, check all these out. Although I don't trust a lot of sources, but since I've learned all this stuff the hard way, I know from personal experience. Accelerated cognitive decline, that means brain fog. I've done a lot of study on fibromyalgia and other chronic diseases because I've had my own suffering for years. And one of the ways that I reversed it is by quitting sugar. That's one of the ways. I talked about this in a lot of my other videos. So very interesting stuff. Thank you, Taylor, for commenting. If you have any other questions, let me know now. I'm going to do a Q&A. But that's 11 dangers of sugar. There's so many. There's so many more. I mean, name a body part, and we can talk about how sugar is killing it. Sexual dysfunction. I did a video about that recently. Check out my other video about sexual and reproductive health. It's a serious topic that a lot of people are afraid to ask questions about, afraid to talk about. And I have some one-on-one clients that came to me in private for various different problems. And disclaimer, I'm not a licensed medical doctor, and I don't diagnose or cure any diseases. So you would have to, hypothetically speaking, you would go through my program, and then you would have to go to a licensed place to get tested. So I'm not going to be the one proclaiming that you're cured or whatever like that. I want to just have a legal disclaimer in there that is important in this day and age. But this is just information that I can share with you. Like I keep saying, I've learned a lot of this the hard way. You can research all of this yourself. Try it yourself. Try quitting sugar. Hey, that's not medical advice to quit sugar. There's no medicine involved. So I can talk about that all day long. I think you'll have several benefits. The cognitive health, well, yeah, I might as well now at the end say how I feel after quitting sugar for 3 years. Well, you don't have to wait 3 years to feel the benefit. I'll say that for sure. You can feel the benefits right away in the first month for sure. And I'm talking about cane sugar specifically. So there are some fruits that are acceptable in the anti-mucus diet that I have in my program. And I give that away free, just a list of food. You don't have to be in my program to get some of that info. And there's so much info for free already on my channel. I have over 200 videos, so check that out. There's a lot of info that is not in the mainstream, and take a look around. I mean, the mainstream health is just missing the boat on a lot of these things. And if we go back in time, there are people like Jesus, for one, that supposedly, if you believe it, could cure every disease. And there have been people since Jesus, and there are people before Jesus that cured every disease with no religious affiliation attached to it. So very interesting stuff. I'm going to wrap it up at that, but I'll give you a minute. If you have another question, if you have some feedback, let me know right now. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate that. And I will make more videos like this. Usually I go live on Sunday, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I go live again. It'll pop up and say that I went live. That way you can be there at the beginning and you can ask questions live. But I'll answer your questions if you tune in later. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Someone else gave a thumbs up. I appreciate that. The more the merrier. I really need those thumbs up because the reason is because YouTube won't show my videos unless people are watching and thumbsing it up. Sharing it is good on social media, but good old thumbs up and a comment works wonders. So I really appreciate your comments. I really appreciate your thumbs up. That's, a way you can help me for free for helping me grow the channel. And I'm putting a lot into the channel. I've put thousands of dollars into this channel last year alone and not made it back. But I'm making more content. In the future, I hope to be monetized. If I keep going at this rate, it should be monetized sometime this summer. And that'll be awesome because I've been doing some giveaways, and I'm gonna give away. I think I'm gonna give away my entire first month of pay for you when YouTube finally monetizes me. I'm going to give it away. So that's my plan anyway, right now. So we'll see how that goes. Need your help to be monetized, and just the way you can do that is just by thumbsing it up, commenting, sharing, and I appreciate it. That being said, thank you so much for watching. I'll give you a couple more seconds if you have a question, and if you don't, then I will sign out. Until next time, what other kind of videos would you like me to make? Health or wealth are usually what I'm focused on in this channel. If you have any special recipe, you want me to make a healthy version of it, or if you have a certain topic that you've been dealing with. A lot of people are dealing with IBS, constipation, irritable bowel. Oh, that is IBS. What are the other big ones that are common? Crohn's disease is another one that is increasing these days. And there are several other digestive diseases. And I feel for you. I've suffered in the past, years ago, and thankfully my digestion has been fantastic. Not to rub it in your face, but there's hope for you, and you can turn it around naturally. So from experience, and there are a lot of people. There's a handful of people in my program right now having a lot of good results, especially with digestion. But if you want to get more info about that, you can reach out to me one-on-one. Some of this stuff is sensitive. You don't want to, some people don't want to share their health info in the comment section. But hey, if you feel comfortable, comment away and I will help you the best I can with that legal disclaimer in mind. I can't say this will cure you, blah, blah, blah. What I can do is just share the info, and you can get the result yourself. The results are what matters, not just the info is just to help get the result. So I hope that helps. What do you think? If you're just tuning in, ask me questions. We're in the Q&A part. And if no one has any questions, I'm gonna tune out. Thank you so much, though, for watching so far. I appreciate the interaction, especially from Taylor, who is commenting live. And sometimes I do go live unannounced. That's why you should hit the bell icon when you subscribe. That way you'll know right away. But I do often go live on Sunday, and sometimes I announce in advance that I post on YouTube or in my Facebook group, that usually on YouTube these days, because I have not been on Facebook recently. So if you've been trying to get a hold of me on Facebook, YouTube is much better. This is a better place to get a hold of me. And if you're my one-on-one client, you've got my number. You can text me or email me, of course. So you can reach out to me in a link in the bottom of the description for more info. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have an amazing day on purpose. This is how to do it. One way is to quit eating sugar. I know it sounds daunting, and I don't know why more people don't do it, but trust me, it's worth it. It is definitely worth it. You will feel it. I don't care, really. I mean, I won't feel any different from you quitting eating sugar. I already did it, and it's worth it. So I'm just telling you that, it is worth it. It might seem daunting at first, but it's not hard. You can still eat sweets such as, ripe melon, agave, dates are good, and certain other fruits that are acceptable on the anti-mucus diet that is in my program that I talk about. And again, I have that list in the Facebook group. However, I haven't really been signing in. So there's that. Hello, Talia. You're new to my page. Welcome, 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 welcome. If you have any questions, ask away. I'm pretty much wrapping the video up right now, but I went over 11 different bullet points of the dangers of sugar already. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. I'm just doing a kind of a Q&A and having a little bit of interaction before signing out. I appreciate all the new people for sure. There's been a lot of new subscribers recently, and I love all of you. Thank you so much. And it feels good that I can bring some kind of value. Talia says, I need you as a life coach. We'll be emailing you soon. Awesome. I put a lot of energy into my life coaching, and I also do business coaching. As if most of the people need health is the most important thing. But if you do have your own business or you want to start one, then I can help you either after you got your health together, help you get the career and everything, the whole life, holistics, mind, body, and spirit. So yeah, I'll be looking out for your email, and you can schedule a free 15-minute consultation. That's what I'll be doing with you. I'll schedule a free 15-minute call, and then ask you some questions. And then I don't accept everyone into the program, just a heads up. But if it looks like it's going to be a good fit, then we can schedule a second free call where I can dive more into it in like 40 minutes or an hour, and a little more time. So that's what the process would be like after you reach out to me, just so that you know what to expect. But cool, I'm looking forward to that. And I only keep a handful of clients at a time so that I make sure that I have enough time so that if someone needs an hour-long phone call or something like that, that I can give my devote my undivided attention to you. And if the worse your problems are, the more excited I am to help, because the bigger the turnaround. I'm all about getting those results, very results oriented. Well, if you don't have any more questions, then I'll say goodbye. If you do have more questions, I'll give you a few more seconds, and then I will sign out. A lot of people always start tuning in at the very end of the live videos, and sometimes it gets the most interesting at the end of them. So I've gone over 3 hours in a live Q&A before, and those are still up right now. I have kept them up on my page. I might take them down in the future, but those are still up and free right now on my channel. So I do have 200 other videos already, and by the end of this year, I will have over 350. That's my goal. So I'm going to keep making content, and not just any content. I only want to talk about things that are vital, the most important things I can come up with that I've learned that will get the biggest result. I'm very into prioritizing. I'm very into efficiency, effectiveness. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time, especially. I've been lucky, and I feel like I've gotten a second chance, more or less, for the lack of a better word, in life. So I try not to take myself too seriously. I like to make jokes and have fun, but I do take my time very seriously, and I only want to bring the best content to you. So I'm continually getting feedback from my old videos, from my new videos, from the live videos. I'm considering all your feedback for the future content. So I appreciate it always. And my one-on-one clients also give me a lot of feedback. And I take it into account, really, and I try to put it into the videos for you. So actually, one of my clients requested this video right now. They requested a dangers of sugar video, and this is it. So I will do my best. If you want a specific video about something, if you comment in the comments what type of video you want, I'll do my best to make it. And especially if you're my one-on-one client, I will, prioritize that first, because it is hard work making the videos. Live is a little bit better because it saves probably 10 or 12 or more hours of editing. So going live has a lot of benefits to it, which is why I'm doing it right now. I have several videos lined up that are almost done editing that are coming out soon. We've got the birria tacos already came out, but I've got a birria ramen recipe that's been a secret that's coming out soon. We've got millionaire shortbread, which is a sweet from like the UK that I've got an alkaline vegan version of it coming out soon, which is acceptable on this no cane sugar diet. It's very, very sweet, but it's the acceptable, healthy type of sweets that I alluded to earlier in the video. So I love sweets, but not cane sugar specifically, and other toxic ones. Even carrot juice is not good for you. That's something that a lot of people think is healthy. Oh, carrots and broccoli, blah. I have other videos debunking that nonsense. The health food that aren't healthy. That kind of stuff. It's so frustrating when you're trying to improve your health and trying to change your life, especially for some people with chronic diseases who are really, really serious about this. That can be life or death to some people. And that's why I put all this effort into these videos, because it could be life or death. It was for me at one point, and in hindsight, after I completely changed my life around, I'm bringing you everything that I did and try to make it as simple as I can, because it can be really difficult if you're trying to do it by yourself. And, pop culture is definitely not going to encourage you. That's unfortunate, but the truth. Talia said, I've been staying away from sugar, especially the starchy food. Awesome. That's a good start. That's a great start. Keep up the good work. Annette said, appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate your feedback. And Annette, I still think we haven't resolved that. I don't know if there's a time limit on this giveaway, but I did do a giveaway that if you're still tuning in, you're welcome to. I think you reached out to me via Facebook, and I really don't use Facebook these days, but I smell something burning. So I'm not cooking anything, but I think I'm gonna get going, and I'm gonna make sure that the neighbor or something isn't burning something. So I'll see you in the next video. It's been exactly an hour, so it's a good time to sign out. I appreciate all of you. Okay, awesome. Email me again, and I'll get you what you won, because I know what it is, and I can just email it to you. Awesome. So I'll see you in another video. Stay tuned. And if you haven't hit the bell icon, do so that you get notified when I go live. See you next time. Have an amazing day.